question number 24. Who are the scattered people? Now, this could also be translated as dispersed people in Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 10. Zephaniah, I'm sorry. Okay, who are the scattered people in Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 10? Why are they scattered, and what does that have to do with God's judgment? Okay, let's take a look at Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse number 10. All right. All right, so Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse number 10. It says, "From beyond the rivers of Cush, my worshipers, my scattered people, will bring me offerings." Okay, and like I said, that scattered people can also be translated as dispersed people. And the reason why I say that is because there is, you may have heard this phrase before, you may have heard of the dysphoria. Okay, and you say the dysphoria. So you say, okay, dysphoria. What is the dysphoria? Well, we got to go back and kind of look at some Old Testament history to kind of understand that.
I've heard that word, but I don't know what it is.
It means dispersed. Okay, dispersed people. Okay, so here we've got the Old Testament nation of Israel. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it here. And so we've got it. Oh, that's too big. Maybe make it a little bit smaller there. Okay, so we've got the nation of Israel, right? So in 722 BC, the Assyrians, and this is a modern map, but the Assyrians were up here in this region. The Assyrians came in and attacked the northern kingdom. They attacked the southern kingdom too, but by God's miraculous power, the Lord has allowed Jerusalem and the southern kingdom to escape. But the northern kingdom was attacked and conquered by the Assyrians. Now, what the Assyrians did was they took people from the northern kingdom and scattered them all throughout the kingdom of Assyria. Okay? And they also took people and brought them in and put them in place. That was just kind of the way they did things. And then a couple of centuries later, in 586 BC, really 609 BC, you remember that the Babylonian kingdom that kind of took over that area also came in and judged Jerusalem and the southern kingdom, and they did the same thing. They came and they brought people back and settled them into ancient Babylon. 3 different times they deported people. Okay, and so then the Persians came and they, also had, they didn't deport anybody, but they took over that area. Now, also, some people at the end of those 3 different deportations, they went and fled to Egypt. And so you can kind of see that these people scattered about. Now, those people that were scattered about, just kind of took up shop and just kind of lived there. And so you had Jewish people that were scattered all through the area. They'd always come back to Israel, but they'd be scattered about. And then in 70 AD, the Romans came in and destroyed the temple and pretty much conquered Israel. And so there was another scattering. And so in the New Testament time period, you had Jews that were scattered all throughout the Roman Empire. And they'd come back for the feasts and the festivals until the temple was destroyed. And they'd still come back for different things. But those were the people that were scattered abroad. Those were the diaspora. Now, it's not just simply here in Zechariah or Zephaniah. It's also in pretty much all through the Old Testament prophets that the Lord was going to send nations to judge Israel because their sins, that they were going to be taken abroad and scattered, but there was also prophecies that God was going to bring them back into the land. Now, when the Persians came and conquered the Babylonians, then the Persians allowed people to come back into Israel, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that stayed gone, all right? And so there still is kind of this idea of an outstanding prophecy that the Lord is going to bring people back. And that's one reason why a lot of people say that we are getting close to the end time events. And by the way, we're not in the end time events yet, but some people say we're getting close to the end time events because Israel is now a country. And some people look at it that since 1948, when Israel was established as a nation, that God has been bringing Israelites, Jews, back into his land ever since. I do think that God has been bringing people back to set things up for end time events. But the real time where God is going to bring people back is when Jesus Christ comes again and establishes his kingdom there in Jerusalem. Okay? And so, kind of getting back to our question of who are the scattered people? Why are they scattered? What does it have to do with God's judgment? Well, it's the fact that God was displeased with the Israelites and how they were disobeying him. And so that's the reason why God judged them and scattered them abroad. And that's who they are. And the Lord is going to bring them back, is bringing them back, has been bringing them back, but in the future is going to bring them back more. Okay, does anybody have any other questions about that?